Hi guys, recently I made this Fusilli Caprese, which is basically just boiled pasta with all the flavours and ingredients of a Caprese salad. So tomato, basil, olive oil and beautiful buffalo mozzarella. Start off by bringing a large pot of salted water to the boil and add in about 300 grams of dried fusilli, or any kind of short pasta you like. And just boil according to the packet instructions. This took me 20 minutes, which was loads of time to get on with the sauce. By the way, you can find this recipe plus loads more over on my website, rookiecook.org, so check that out. Now take 500 grams of fresh tomatoes. The variety doesn't really matter, just as long as they're the most flavoursome you can get. For me, that would be cherry tomatoes, and just cut them up into little bits. I'm having these cherry tomatoes. If you're using bigger tomatoes, you're obviously going to have to chop them up smaller. Now take a really generous handful of fresh, cleaned basil and just pick the one or two pretty leaves for garnish at the end, and then just chop it up. You don't need to break your heart with this. It doesn't have to be chopped up super fine. In fact, I think the kind of coarser it is, the better, because you really can see it and it's a lot leafier in the sauce then. So when it's chopped to your liking, go ahead and add it to the tomatoes. Now take 1 clove of garlic and give it a good grating with a microplane grater. If you don't have a microplane, just give it a really good chop, but make sure that it's really, really finely chopped, because the only cooking that this garlic is going to get is going to be from the residual heat from the cooked pasta when it's added to the sauce, and that's not a lot of cooking at all, so raw garlic can be really, really hot and strong. So you don't want to be eating tiny chunks of raw garlic. Now add it to the tomatoes and basil and give it a little mix up before you add about a teaspoon of sea salt flakes, a teaspoon of coarsely ground black pepper, about a tablespoon of balsamic vinegar, and roughly 3 tablespoons of extra virgin olive oil. You want to use the extra virgin olive oil here because it's not getting any cooking at all, so it's best to use the good stuff. Now take a potato masher and just give everything a really, really good mash up. You want to get all the juice from the tomatoes out, and it'll kind of form an emulsion with the olive oil and balsamic vinegar, and it'll be really, really tasty. If you want, you can add a tablespoon of capers, but a lot of people don't like them, so I'd be careful. Now take 1 large ball of buffalo mozzarella and just tear it up into small little mouth-sized pieces. You could use cow's mozzarella as well, which isn't as strong tasting, but it has a firmer texture, so you might prefer that, but I think this buffalo mozzarella, which is locally made as well, is just beautiful. This mozzarella is from a place called Macroom, where a few years ago a local dairy farmer went out to Italy and bought a small herd of buffalo and brought them back to Ireland, and because of all the rain we get here, we do have really lush grass, and they really took to the grass and produced really good milk, which made for really amazing mozzarella. Though I'm sure the poor animals who were used to the beautiful Italian weather must have thought that it was the end of days when they came here. So now add your mozzarella pieces to the tomato and basil and give it a little mix so that it's all evenly dispersed throughout the sauce. So once your pasta is cooked to your liking, go ahead and take it off the heat and pass it through a colander. Return it to the pan, but don't return it to the heat, and add in your sauce. Give it a good mix so that all the fusilli is gently coated in the oily tomatoey emulsion and the mozzarella pieces are just starting to lose their form. This pasta is delicious warm, but the leftovers are also amazing cold as a salad. Now just plate up and garnish with those pretty basil leaves from earlier and give an extra drizzle of extra virgin olive oil. And that's it. I hope you enjoyed this video, guys, and if you did, hit the like button below and subscribe to my YouTube channel and track me down on social media. All my links are in the description below, as well as the link to my blog, where you'll find the full recipe at www.rookiecook.org.